Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY. Today we're going to be doing a brake job on my truck, and we're going to be replacing rotors, disc brakes, and e-brakes. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is get your tire off. So let's spin these lugs off. Okay, now that we got the tire off, the first thing to do is take the caliper off. And the way to do that is there's two bolts behind here. There are 10 millimeter. There's one here and one right there. There's not a lot of room between your leaf springs, so just get them loose and then take them off with your fingers. They're not threaded in too far. And then what happens is the bolt will just slide in and out like that. And then unscrew the other one and slide it out. Now what that does is up in here is where it's unthreaded from. Okay, so there you have it. You can just lay that up over here. Your brake pads will still be on the rotor itself. So what you're going to need to do is pop those off, and there's this clip right in the back here. So you can just push that down and pull that out. One. And the back one doesn't have a clip, but on the new one you'll see a clip right here that actually goes into the caliper piston. Okay, now that we have the disc brakes off and pads, the caliper end pads, we can take the rotor off because now it's free to come out. There's always something that holds your rotor on. Mine have these little clips right here that are kind of threaded on. My VW had a Phillips head right through the hub itself. They're all held on by something, so look for yours. Don't try and pull it off without trying to get that off, because I did, and I ended up snapping my Phillips head on my VW. So make sure you look for what's holding the rotor on and then pull it off. What I like to do with these little clips is take a flathead and just kind of pull them up a little bit. And they're just little pieces of metal, but you'd be surprised at how well they hold the rotor on. So as those are bent up, you can easily just take them out. And all it is a very thin sheet of metal with those tabs. So bend those up and you should be able to get them off really easy. Okay, so what I just tried to do is pull my rotor off, but it got kind of hung up. What happens is the e-brakes wear a ring around the inside of the rotor, and it prevents it from coming out. So what happens is if you take those e-brakes and pull them in, it'll be easier to get the hub off. The way to do that is go to the back of your rotor, and you will see a little grommet here, rubber grommet. Take that out, and what you'll see is the e-brake slack adjuster. So what you can do is take a screwdriver, put it in there, and turn that slack adjuster so it pulls those brakes in. And once you have that pretty well loosened up, go ahead and try and pull the rotor off. Okay, now that the slack adjusters are pulled in, the hub should just come straight off, which it does. Now, on the other side, I did not pull those slack adjusters in, and it hung up a lot. I had to basically pry the rotor off, which was a pain. So make sure you put those e-brakes and suck them in. It makes it so much easier. Okay, now that you got the hub off, you're at the point where you want to take a step back and look at all what's going on with your brakes here. You want to make sure when you put this back together that this bar is going underneath this piece. Now if you look a little bit below, there is a clip here, and this pin right here runs all the way through to the back. All you need to do is push that down and push it up. There is one pin here, and if you look on the other side, there's another pin. Okay, so if you work your way from the top spring to this clip all the way to the bottom here, there is another spring down there. This spring is what holds the e-brake shoes together on the bottom. First thing you're going to want to do is take this bottom spring off. You can either take a pliers, or mine's pretty easy, and just take it off with your hand. Then you're going to want to work your way up to that clip and just push that in, and you should be able to just push that over like so. On the back side, if you have problems getting this little pin out, what you can do is on the back side of the brake assembly, there's a little hole. You can take a screwdriver and manipulate this from the back side. Okay, now coming to the other side, all you got to do is the same exact thing with this clip. Push that in. So there you go. Just pop that right off. Now that you have the bottom spring off and the two side clips, what you can do is you can just pull these e-brakes out like wings and then just fold them in, and what that does is it helps collapse this top spring. And then it just comes off like that. Now, what fell is the slack adjuster that we loosened up. So make sure this gets back on the correct way. All that does is sit on your e-brake shoe like this and to the opposite side. So what this does is it comes out to tighten your e-brake shoe, and what we did is we spun this nut so this slack adjuster went in, allowing us to pull these e-brakes together, making it a lot easier to get out. Okay, now that we have everything off, what we're going to do is start putting the new stuff back on. First thing we're going to do is put the everything's going to be done in reverse order. So we're going to put the brake shoes back on first, the e-brake shoes. Here's the new e-brake shoe. This little lip up here is going to go into this notch right up here like so. And the spring that held the top on is going to be connected in just like that. This slot right here is what is going to take this small pin with the clips. That's where that's going. And this notch down here is where the bottom spring is going to be latched in. This notch on the bottom is where your slack adjuster is going to go. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your brake shoes, hook the first one in, and then hook your second one. And they're going to go on the same way they came off, with that butterfly wing effect. So you're going to put them both on like this, and then just snap them right in like that. And also make sure that this bar is below, because you don't want anything messing stuff up with like that. Okay, so now we can move on to our pins with our clips. Now make sure you don't break these, because with the new brake shoes, all you're getting is the shoes. You don't get any hardware with it at all. So be gentle. Okay, so there you have it. As you can see, they are a little tricky to put on. So what we're going to do is go ahead and move on to the other side and do the same thing with that clip and pin. Take your slack adjuster, make sure your adjuster is on the right side, and you'll be able to see it in the back of where that adjusting hole is. And I actually was showing you the wrong way. With the way on the right rear, the way you want it to be is that nut is going to be on your right side. So what we'll do now is move to the bottom and put that small spring on the bottom. Okay, now that we have the brake shoes back on, just double check everything. We have the top spring on and is going underneath this piece. And then moving down, we have the clips in on both sides. And then all the way at the bottom, we have our spring in and also our slack adjuster. So all that stuff is together. These shoes are not going to be going anywhere. They're on there tight. Okay, so what we can do now is take our rotor and just place it on. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take those little keepers that we had taken off before and place those back on. And then what you're going to want to do is take your screwdriver and press those tabs back down. Okay, so what I like to do now is I put my caliper up on a jack stand so it's a lot easier to work with, and it also doesn't put a lot of undue stress on my brake line. So what we're going to need to do is push this piston in first, because when it's out you ain't going to be able to put your brake pads on and get it above this new rotor. There are two different brake pads that go on here, and there's this three-pronged clip that actually goes on the inside of your piston, and this winged clip will fit on the outside here of your caliper. So the first thing we're going to need to do is push this piston in, and we're going to use a C-clamp. Okay, so we have that all the way in. It's flush, and it's definitely the way to go. I don't know how you would do that just by sheer strength. Okay, so this is in flush. What we're going to do, this is going to go on like this. So we're going to take our first brake shoe, and these three prongs slide in to the hole of the piston here. Okay, so once you get it started, that should just push right in. Okay, it looks pretty good. Make sure it's fully seated in there so it can go around here. The next thing we're going to take is our other brake shoe. Make sure it's going the right way. And you'll notice this clip is going to fit down here. So slide that over like that. What you're going to need to do next is place your bolts back in. I just tried putting this on and then putting the bolts in. Well, my leaf spring got in the way with this top bolt. So make sure this bolt is seated in. The bottom one can go in okay. As you can see here, these top two clips are going to be put in first. The back one, you can see there's no pin, no little finger there, so it can just be pushed straight up in there. But this one, on the other hand, has a finger on it, so you're definitely going to need to do the top first. And just tap that down into place. Now that you have the caliper on, everything's lined up, the next thing you're going to need to do is bolt it back on. So now this bolt can get threaded in and seated, and this bottom one just slips in. So there's no clearance up here to get this bolt in at an angle, so make sure that one's in before you go ahead and put your caliper back on. Okay, so now your caliper is back on, new brakes in there, everything's secured. Just make sure you didn't really puncture any holes in your brake line. And then let's go ahead and throw our tire back on. Okay, so there you have it. Wheels back on and brakes and everything are okay. I advise to go out, take it for a test drive, make sure nothing's hanging up and everything's all good. If you'd like to check out any of my other projects, head over to Appalachian DIY. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you again.